I'm Pat, and this is the second lesson of my mini-series about the popular song Autumn Leaves. In this lesson we're checking out a chord melody arrangement with some really nice filler licks. And this one is, I think, a good challenge for the right hand, because there's some interesting technique involved, like right hand muting and also an alternating bass technique. And it's also a good chance to work on your intonation and vibrato as well. So, you know, lots of cool things worth spending time on. So this lesson comes with 3 pages of tablature, so make sure to print it out first so that you can follow along. And now let's get started. Autumn Leaves, chord melody arrangement for the Dobro. Okay, so my Dobro is tuned to GBD tuning from the thickest to the thinner string. GBD. If you don't know how to tune the Dobro to GBD tuning, I got a free lesson on my site which explains all of that, so make sure to check it out first. Now, for those who haven't followed the previous lesson where I teach my single note melody arrangement of Autumn Leaves, I'm going to quickly talk again about the structure of the song. It's a 32-bar song divided into 2 parts. An A part, which is 16 bar long, and then a B part, which is also 16 bar long. And as I've said in the previous lesson, this is first and foremost a jazz standard. So, you know, it has some complex chord and the complex harmony, and explaining this to you right now would be way beyond the scope of this lesson, especially if you're a beginner and don't know much music theory. That being said, if you're more advanced, I have a separate lesson where I make an harmonic analysis of the tune and also give you some tips about how to get started on improvising over this song. So, you know, if you're interested in that, make sure to check out that lesson too. Now, before we get started with how to play the song, I want to quickly talk about a couple more things. First, the time signature. As you can see above measure 1 of your tab, the song has a triplet feel. You see this little triplet sign above measure 1? Well, that just means that instead of counting 8 notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Because basically if you had triplets, that would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now if you play 8th note with a triplet feel, you omit the 2. So that's 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. Okay, so that's where the triplet feel comes from. The second thing I want to explain is the right hand technique. Throughout most of the tune, I use what's called an alternating bass technique, which means that your thumb alternates between mostly the 6th and 4th string for this tune. But I've got other arrangements on my site where I mix the two, 6 and 4 and 6 and 5. Okay, but for this tune, 6 and 4. And basically you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and of course your other fingers play the melody at the same time. So that's the cool thing about this technique, because it makes the listener think there are 2 players in the room and there's actually only one, since you play the bass part and the melody part at the same time. Also, at different parts of the tune I'll be playing a filler lick, so in this case I will stop using the alternating bass. So, you know, this arrangement is a mixture of that, a melody with alternating bass technique throughout most of the tune and then some filler licks in between. Anyway, if you're not familiar with this technique, what I recommend to get you started is to practice the alternating thumb on its own, okay? By playing a bass part, alternating between the 6th and 4th string for the whole tune. Let's try to do that for the A part. 1. Again, 1. So I've got my bar on the 7th fret, pulled back to the 3rd string, and I pinch the 6th and 3rd string with thumb and middle. Then I go to the 5th fret, bar pulled back to the 2nd string, and I play thumb on the 4th string and middle on the 2nd string. 1 and, 1 and, a 3, and then I pinch the open 4th and the 6th fret, 2nd string, with my bar tilted up. So the rhythm, 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1. Slowly. 1. Then measure 2, I pinch the open 6th and my middle, play the 8th fret, 1st string, bar tilted up. So you got open 6th string ringing, and then you play this note with your middle. 1 and notice I use some vibrato here. Okay, vibrato is important if you want, to give, some emotion to your playing. Then I play the alternating bass pattern with my thumb. So I play 4th string, open 4th, open 6th, then index played the open 3rd, thumb played the open 4th, and index again play the open 3rd. So it goes like this. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Then for the next 2 bars, okay, so let's check this out for now. Measure 3, I'm on the C chord. I've got my bar pulled back to the 3rd string, and I play thumb on the 6th string, index on the 3rd string, thumb on the 4th, index on the 3rd, okay? 5th fret, bar pulled back to the 3rd string. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Then I pinch the 4th and 2nd string. I've got my bar on the 3rd fret, pulled back to the 2nd string. And then I move to the 5th fret and I pinch the same string with thumb and middle. Thumb and middle, thumb and middle. The rhythm, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1. Now, when I reach measure 4, I do a quick slide on the beat. 1, 1. So I'm on the 9th fret this time, bar pulled back to the 2nd string. I always have my bar pulled back to the highest note of the melody, so that's why I pull back my bar each time. So I pinch the 6th, the 3rd and the 2nd string, and I slide from the 9th to the 10th fret on the beat. 1, 1, 2, 3. So then I do this. So I play with my thumb the 4th string, then I pinch with index and middle this time the 3rd and 2nd string. Then thumb on the 5th, index on the 3rd. Check out the rhythm. 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so this is a bit tricky here because you got to move from the 10th to the 5th fret quickly. 4th beat. On the 4th beat, I've got my bar on the 5th fret, put back to the 3rd string, and I pinch the 5th and the 3rd string with thumb and index. If it's a bit complicated for you, what you can do is not play this note, the end of beat 3. Okay, instead of playing, you omit this note if it's a bit complicated for you right now. Okay, so let's review measure 3 and 4.